Hello. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we're going to be going over how to build the perfect Acura RSX. I have a little bit of a cold right now. I don't even know if it's like a cold or what's going on. Maybe just allergies, but I've been like coughing randomly, so, like you just saw in the beginning there. So if that happens at all during today's video, I do apologize. But nonetheless, yeah, we're going to be going over how to build the perfect Acura RSX. This applies to both the base model and the Type S trims. And the way these videos work, in case you're new here, is we go over all of the exterior mods I would do to the car, then all of the interior mods I would do to the car, and all of the performance mods that I would do to the car, and get the grand total of how much all of these mods would cost as well. Okay? Media of the day is Travis Scott, My Eyes. This song is really good about 2 minutes into the song. The first 2 minutes of the song, not that great. The second 2 minutes of the song, though, absolute banger. One of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. Go listen to it if you haven't already. It's a rap song, obviously, so if you don't like rap music, maybe don't listen to it. But if you do, go watch it. Also, for those who don't know, this is just all the prices in this list are implying that you are going to do the work yourself. If you plan to bring it to a professional, no judgment here, but just plan to spend a little bit more money. And on top of that, this is just a good street car base. We're not leaning directly into the hill climb side of things, the circuit racing side of things, or the drag racing side of things. It's just a good base, a good starting point on what you could do if it's like your only car and you could just want to daily up and make it look really cool and feel really cool as well. All right. Also, shout out to Alex Martini. He's the one that came up with this idea. I kind of took it from him. He's another YouTuber. Go check him out. I'm just putting my own Mark Roden take on these cars. All right. But without further ado, let's go right into it with how to build the perfect Acura RSX. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing we need to talk about is, of course, all of the exterior mods. But before we talk about all the exterior mods I would do to an Acura RSX, we obviously have to buy the Acura RSX. So for the cost of the car, I wrote down $6,000. Me personally, I would look for a pre-facelift one in black. That would be my humble opinion. And for those who don't know, before I bought my Integra, I actually was looking at RSXs, and that's exactly what I was looking at. Pre-facelift black ones. That's what I wanted. I think it's just a good combo for the car. But obviously you could go with whatever color combo you want, and if you want the facelift, you can if you want to. But either way, yeah, $6,000 is around the price I would be expecting to spend for an RSX. That's probably going to be the base model, by the way. You could find cheaper Type S's for around $6K, but I wouldn't recommend them. Either way, let's get into the exterior mods. First off would be a Mugen style front lip for $200. I still don't know how to pronounce Mugen. I always just pronounce it Mugen, but if I'm mispronouncing it, I deeply apologize. But nonetheless, yeah, this looks really good. It just adds a front lip to the front bumper. This isn't a whole new front bumper. It's just a more aggressive front lip, and I would 100% put it on this car. I think it looks nice. Mugen has great styling when it comes to Hondas. Next up would be the VIS Racing carbon hood for $1,100. It's a little expensive, don't get me wrong, but a lot of times with hoods, they are expensive, especially carbon fiber ones, because you want to get the real carbon. And Viz Racing, or whatever, VIS Racing, is a brand that I've heard of multiple times, and it's pretty good apparently at making carbon stuff. I think this makes the car look a whole lot more aggressive. Next up will be the Acon black headlights, or Acon. It looks like Acon to me, for $150. It's pretty much the stock headlights. It just gives it a black housing. And I like that better than the chrome housing. But again, if you don't like that, if you'd rather have the chrome housing on there, you could just keep the stock, and then there's $150 saved for you. Next up would be the Mugen style side skirts for $280. Now these are not side skirt like extensions like the front lip was. These are completely different side skirts themselves. So you will have to take the side skirts off the car in order to put these on for $280 for the set of two of them. Again, I think Mugen is just awesome. I think they make the best Honda kits out there, and so I would 100% put the side skirts on. These aren't by the way, these aren't the genuine Mugen parts. These are replica parts of the genuine Mugen stuff. Either way, next up would be, of course, the red Honda badges for around $150, which is definitely a little expensive for just some badges, but they're genuine like Honda badges. Like, they're not just like knockoff fake Alibaba Honda badges. These are real Honda badges for $150. You get the front and the back. And the red Honda badge, man, it just works so well on every Honda. You could do this for a whole lot cheaper, obviously, if you want to, but again, I would personally just buy the real ones. I think it looks cooler. It really, I mean, $150, man, that's like 2 shifts at McDonald's nowadays. All right. Next up would be the eBay window spoiler for $150 as well. Again, some cars look good with window spoilers, some cars don't. I think the RSX is one that does look really good with it, and yeah, for $150, there's such a simple mod that, in my opinion, really does make a lot of cars look better. Next up would be, of course, the Type R style spoiler for $150. y'all already knew this was coming. Y'all already knew this was coming. Every RSX build in the world puts this spoiler on the car, and for good reason. It looks awesome. It just absolutely nails it. Just like with the Integra, everyone always puts the same like Mugen style, Integra Type R style spoiler on the car. It's the same thing with this car. It looks great. I would put it on there. And next up would be the Mugen style rear lip for $160. Again, just filling out the rest of the Mugen kit here. We have the Mugen front lip, the Mugen side skirts, and the Mugen rear lip now. And again, the Mugen kit I think is just the best looking for this car. It's just a rear lip. This is not a whole new bumper, so it just goes on. It says just in addition to the rear bumper you already have on the car. And again, I think it makes it look a whole lot more aggressive. And finally, for the exterior mods, would of course be the window tints for $500. Again, this is the only mod on these how to build videos where I do recommend bringing it to a professional rather than just trying to do it yourself, just because I've seen so many people say, I could save hundreds of dollars, man, if I just do it myself. And then it peels and bubbles within literally a week, and it's just like such a waste of your time and then a waste of your money. And it's just, I personally brought all my cars to get them professionally tinted, and I would too, and it's usually around $500. And it'll last long, it'll be really good quality, and of course you'll want to do some window tints to the car, obviously. Which, by the way, that is it for all the exterior mods. Not that many exterior mods, but honestly RSXs don't need that much stuff, really. They look pretty good, pretty much stock. So for the exterior total, we have $2,840, so under $3,000 for the perfect exterior on the Acura RSX, making it look absolutely gorgeous in every way. And I think that, my friends, it's just that's just a good start right there. It's a good looking RSX in my opinion. But now let's get into the interior mods. And the interior mods on these how to build videos for Mark Roden here is usually those, like, doesn't have that many mods I would do to it, but honestly there's quite a bit of mods that I would do to the RSX's interior. So let's get into it. First off would be the Recaro SR4 style seats for $350 for a set of 2 of them. Obviously these are not genuine Recaro SR4s. They are replica Recaro SR4s. You're not finding any Recaro for anywhere around $300. But nonetheless, I think they look really good. They're red, and that's why I would want it in black, because it's black with the red interior. Ooh, baby. And it would look really nice. Next up is, sticking with the seats real quick, I would do a rear seat delete, which is obviously completely free. All you got to do is take the back seats out of the car, and it saves you a couple pounds. Now, it's not like you need to save a couple pounds. RSXs are very lightweight cars, but at the same time, the rear seats might as well not even exist. I tried sitting in the back of an RSX, given I am 6 foot tall, so maybe if you're shorter than that, it's going to be a little bit easier for you. But I would have rather just sat on the roof, to be honest, than sit in the back seat. Honestly, I would have rather them taken the back seats out and have me sit on like the frame of the car. That would have been better, actually. So just get rid of them. Next up would be the Auto Power half cage for $750. It's a half roll cage. This is the other reason why you're going to want to delete the rear seats, by the way, because if you put the half cage in there, well, obviously might as well nobody's going to be back there. But yeah, half cages, first of all, look cool. Like, let's just be honest with ourselves here. They look awesome, but they're also really good for safety purposes as well. So I would do it. Next up would be the Megan Racing 5-point harness for $200. You have the cage, you have the seats. Why not buy a 5-point harness? Safety first, ladies and gentlemen. For $200 too. It also makes you feel like so much more of a race car driver putting on that harness. Now, it would probably be a little bit of a nightmare to put on the harness every single time you want to get in and out of the car, but it's cool. It's aura. You got to do it. Next up would be the Buddy Club short throw shifter for $160. I think every Honda could massively benefit from a short throw shifter. Now, there's a lot of cars out there in general that could benefit from a short throw, but Hondas in particular, I mean, these cars have the longest throws of all time. My Integra had a short throw shifter in it, and it made it feel so much better than without it. Next up would be the Mishimoto shift knob for $50. Not sponsored, but I recommend the Mishimoto shift knob on any car that has a manual transmission, because I love the Mishimoto shift knob. I think it's freaking awesome. I've had it on every one of my cars. I just like how it's just basic, but still kind of cool, and you can get them in any color you want to as well. So for $50, I would put it on the car. And sticking with the whole like shifting assembly there, next up would be the red shift boot for around $30. I would probably get the shift knob. Personally, I would probably get it in like black or maybe even white, and then the red shift boot, I think that would look like pretty good. It would match the seats, obviously. It makes it look a little bit more aggressive. It makes it look a little bit more sporty, obviously. And then next up would be the P2M checkered floor mats for $100. These are just like, this is a cool design for a floor mats, and obviously I personally like having floor mats in all my cars because I don't want my cars to be filthy. And these are good looking ones. So for $100, yeah, you can't really beat it in my opinion. And next up would be the NRG quick release steering wheel and a hub. It's a combo. It's a 2-for-1 package here. You get the hub assembly and the steering wheel itself for $280. Is not that bad, man. Under $300. And I know you're like, well, it's unsafe with quick release wheels. Quick release wheels make it unsafe because you get rid of the airbag. True, but we have the half gauge, we have the harness, and we have the racing seats already. So at that point, you should be pretty good. If you get into an accident, it's obviously not going to be as safe as if the car was just brought in stock. But it's Aura, man. That ding is awesome. And finally, for the interior mods, the last interior mod I would do to an RSX would, of course, be Apple CarPlay for around $300. Apple CarPlay is just extremely beneficial for any of the older cars that don't have those, you know, more modern infotainment systems and stuff like that. They're awesome. It's nice. Everyone puts Apple CarPlay in their cars nowadays, and for good reason. They're good, and they make the car owning experience so much more vibey, which, by the way, gives us a grand total for all the interior mods of $2,240. Not bad, man. And honestly, if you don't want to put the half cage in there, which is totally understandable, by the way, because it is kind of a relatively pointless mod unless you're like really hard driving these cars, you could save another $750 out of it. You know what I mean? This car could go down to $1,500 for all the interior mods, and it's going to be a really fun feeling and nice vibey JDM style interior. I think it's great. But now let's get into the performance mods. And whenever it comes to the performance mods, it's always the most expensive section of the video. And yeah, it's no different here with the RSX, because you don't really want to cheap out on performance mods since they're what your car is driving on, obviously. So if it breaks, well, you can't drive your car. If an exterior mod or interior mod breaks, it's not the end of the world, but performance mods, not great. First off would be the Tine street coilovers for $660. I always thought it was pronounced Tane, but I pronounced it Tane in one of my other videos, and somebody was like, you idiot. So I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce this company. I thought it was Tane. Nonetheless, yeah, Tane is a pretty reputable company in my opinion. $660 for coilovers, lowers the car, makes it stiffer, makes it look cooler. Let's be honest, that's 90% of the reason why people buy coilovers, but it's going to make the car handle a whole lot better as well. Obviously, you got to put coilovers on an RSX. Next up, it would be, of course, the CX Racing Turbo Kit for around $1,500. This is a full turbo kit, by the way. So pretty much you buy this, and once it comes in, you can turbo your car and start driving it. Obviously, that's easier said than done, but still, it's not like you have to like wait for other parts to come in from other companies. It's a full kit, and it's a K series. You're going to want to turbo a K series. Obviously, it's still going to be reliable even with the turbo kit on there. I mean, you gotta turbo the K series, man. It just asks to be turboed. Next up would be the Action Clutch Stage 2 clutch for $480. Yet Action Clutch is the company's name, and then it's Stage 2 clutch, so clutch is there twice. But nonetheless, it's a clutch. It's a better clutch, which you're gonna want if you're gonna upgrade. If you're gonna put a turbo on the car, you're gonna want a better clutch. And on top of that, it's just gonna feel a lot nicer. Just to drive with a more upgraded clutch, you're gonna feel like a race car driver. For $480, it's not that bad. Now, it is worth mentioning the job doing this itself isn't the easiest thing out there. Obviously, it's a clutch. It's not fun to do, but it is still in my opinion worth it. Next up would be the Seika Big Brake Kit for $1,300. Pretty obviously expensive just for some brakes upgrade, and you might not think it's really worth it, but I do. I mean, at this point, we're going for like I mean, it's not a track build, obviously, but this car is a canyon carver right now. You know what I mean? It's got a turbo on it, it's coilovers, better clutch, and now you get a big brake kit. This thing's going to handle like an absolute dream. It's going to be so much fun to drive this car for $1,300. I would personally cough up the change for it. Yeah, next up, obviously, you got to make the car sound good. Everyone, it's the Yanaka catback exhaust for $600. It's Yanaka. They're very reputable when it comes to Hondas, and a catback exhaust, again, you just have to lean in to the I'm an annoying Honda driver at 3 a.m. You have to do it, and you have to be as obnoxious as possible. And on top of all of that, obviously, on all these videos, we modify the exhaust in some way because we're car guys and we like how it sounds. Gosh darn it, just sue me, man. And next up would be the DC Sports cold air intake for $150. Not to get confused with the DC Shoes company that was around back in the early 2000s and then just fell off the face of the earth. But the DC Sports cold air intake, yep, it's a cold air intake. This is the car where it actually does benefit from a cold air intake, by the way. The stock box does suck in pretty hot air, whereas the aftermarket ones do suck in cold air. And it also has that nice little... Which, by the way, obviously, if you're going to turbo the car, if you're going to put a catback exhaust on the car and a cold air intake on the car, you're also probably going to want to tune the car. So the next mod would, of course, be a tune. I wrote down $500 for the cost of the tune because tunes obviously range drastically depending on where you go. But you can, I mean, with Hondas, man, if you're lucky and you know people, you can get a tune for a Honda, a good tune for a Honda for literally like $100, dude. Like there's some guys out there that would probably do it for free because they're trying to learn. Like tunes are all over the place when it comes to pricing, but I just wrote down $500. And now next up would be, of course, the wheel and tire package. For the wheels, I would go with the JNC 014 wheels in silver for $1,200 for a set of 4 of them. I had JNC 014s on my Integra, but they were in white. I think with the black, I think the silver would look a little bit nicer, so I would do that. But I love the wheels themselves. I know they're a rep company, but they're rep T37s, by the way. But they held up great. They didn't once let me down or anything like that, and they looked awesome, so I would absolutely do it. They're pretty dirt cheap too. And then obviously for tires, you're gonna want to put some tires on the bad boy. Now I would personally go with Falcon and Zenith tires for $1,000 for a set of 4 of them. Falcon and Zenith are sportier tires, so in the winter time and in the rain, it's not gonna be that fun to drive this car. But with all the modifications that we've done to this car, I think it would really benefit from having some stickier, grippier tires. You're gonna have so much more fun with those, and so I would cough up the extra change to run some Falcon and Zeniths. And maybe if you got a little bit extra money, or not even, just keep the stocks. Keep the stock tires, stock wheel and tires, and then in the winter time, or when if it's rainy season, put them on and drive that in the winter. It takes an hour max, not even half an hour, not even 20 minutes to change tires on a car. Like, as long as you have a jack at least. So I mean, I would do that. It makes the car a whole lot more fun when you got some grippy tires. But either way, that is it for the performance mods. So that gives us a grand total of all of the performance mods of $7,400. Definitely not cheap. Plain and simple, that's not cheap for performance mods. It's actually, as a matter of fact, it's more expensive for all the performance mods than it is to buy the car in the first place. But I mean, that's kind of the whole point why you're buying an RSX, in my opinion, is to make it very fun to drive, because they love to be just built. And so for $7,400, I mean, yeah, it's expensive for an RSX, but it's still not that crazy when you think about this car is, in my opinion, a damn near perfect street car. I mean, this is going to be fun as hell around every corner you go around, while also still being reliable, and can get you from point A to point B on time as well. But either way, that is it for all of the mods I would do to the car. So let's go over the grand total of the car itself. Obviously, in order to begin modifying our RSX, we had to buy the car, so that was $6,000. All of the exterior mods ended up rounding out to $2,840. All of the interior mods came out to $2,240. And all of the performance mods came out to $7,400 for a grand total overall of everything included together of the perfect RSX street build of $18,480. Pretty expensive, I'm not going to lie, for just an RSX. I mean, these cars are known for being dirt cheap tuner cars, but at this point, there's really not much else that I would even recommend doing to the car. This would just be, I mean, perfect. Honestly, it would be a perfect build, in my opinion. It would be awesome. At that point, I would be literally done with the build, and I would just be enjoying it now at this point. So yes, it's a $20,000 RSX, which is kind of crazy, but again, it's a perfect build in my opinion, so I can't really complain about it too much personally. I think it's worth it, is what I'm trying to say. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video on how to build the perfect Acura RSX. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels when you have that great mumbo jumbo. And thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow's video is going to be on the top 15 best cars for less than $10,000 in the Big 2.6. The next part of our 1K to 100K series will be tomorrow on 10K. Then after that, we're going to be doing how to build the perfect BMW G20. So that's the newest 3 Series generation. We're going to be doing that one next because I got a comment recommendation to do that one. And then after that, it'll be obviously the cars under 15K. But then after that, I don't know what the next how to build video is going to be on. So if anybody has any recommendations on cars you would like to see. Oh, I did see one guy say he wants to see me build the first gen Chrysler 300. That would actually be kind of fun. I don't really talk about the Chrysler 300 too much, so I feel like it would be kind of a fun video to go and look up modifications to see what people are doing in terms of building them. So maybe that'll be after the G20. But either way, let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know. Obviously, we 90% of the time go off of recommendations when it comes to the how to build series. So if anybody has any recommendations, I would greatly appreciate it. Either way, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Das Vidania. Thank you guys so much for watching. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.